Rob, I just sent another video of the liberal meltdown, and that could kind of lead into the Fuentes conversation.
Ooh, I have so many thoughts on this.
I've already got Groypers coming after me for my Twitter statement.
Who cares about what the Groypers think at this point? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I like the Groypers. I don't know why you guys. I honestly,
all I said was pepper spray is the weapon of a woman.
I think
honestly, Rob would know in the sense of he is a firearm master, so he would know.
Well, I'm not a master.
I don't know where Nick lives, but it's an appropriate response to a woman, like a feminist coming to your door. Like, you're not going to gun her down, you know. It's actually all right. We'll talk about. Let's do the clip first, and then we'll discuss the Fuentes stuff.
Been a MAGA victory lap tour on Twitter, and we can just go through the tweets right now. Matt Walsh, now that the election is over, I think we can finally say that, yeah, actually Project 2025 is the agenda. LOL, which we knew, we reported on that. Nick Fuentes says, your body, my choice forever.
That is kind of funny.
Oh my gosh, that makes me sick.
Your face.
John Miller says, women threatening sex strikes like LMAO, as if you have a say. Shannon tweets, so I'm supposed to go to work and do my job as if half the country didn't just vote to give me less rights than men. Andrew Tate retweets with comment, and you also have to make me a sandwich.
Nate. I don't care what your opinion of Fuentes is. That freaking tweet is pure gold. Your body, my choice forever. It set off a freaking firestorm like I've never seen. Like, Nick would know what it.
That's the truth.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Well, first off, what's so funny is that I'm sure you guys saw like Walsh's comment. He's clearly trolling as a character, Steven from his movie Am I Racist? He's dressed up as the DEI hire, and they still took the bait. These people are moronic.
The thing is, so the day after the election, I was telling everybody, I'm like, just keep remembering all throughout the day, anytime you can, pop into a liberal comment thread and remind them how amazing Project 2025 is going to be. Because Trump tried to distance himself from it, but I will say this, that border czar coming in, he was with the Heritage Foundation, and that guy is phenomenal.
Dude, Holland's great.
Does not give a flying F about anything that anybody says. He comes in and he's just like, if you're here illegally, pack your bags, we're coming for you. And then you have all these liberal governors coming out, and they're like, we will not abide and we will not help you. He's like, I don't care if you help me. I'll send double the agents to your state. We're getting these people out of here. Like, that is what you need. You need somebody that is unafraid to take any criticism for this. We need to get people. We need this mass deportation more than anything. That's like first and foremost. We need to end the war in Ukraine. We need to end the war between Israel and Palestine. Those are the three main issues I want to deal with. Then I want to see Robert F. Kennedy handling the health stuff. Like, there's the thing they screwed up with by taking 2020 away from him. He had a chance to like regroup and figure out who was behind the scenes sticking the dagger in his back, you know? So if they would have just let him finish out his term, they would have had all those double agents in there, and they could have just kept them tethered, and he would have gotten nothing done, just like he really couldn't get much done in his first term. Like, he did some stuff, but almost everything he did was executive order. The day Biden comes in, he overturned every single executive order. But they gave him 4 years to regroup. He actually knows how politics work in Washington now. Like, Trump actually knows the system now because he has 8 years of experience doing this. Exactly. So the day he comes in, he's got 50 different bills to just sign and put into action, because the new Senate coming in on January 3rd is going to have all these bills ready for him. Like, they made him so much more powerful.
Yeah,
taking that 2020 away from him, and it's it's a phenomenal ending to the saga, right? Like, the story begins with Trump winning in 2016. Like, it was such an amazing movie to watch. That whole election cycle that he wins, and then they take it from they take it from him in 2020, and then you come to 2024 and he wins it back. Like, it's one of the greatest political stories I've ever witnessed in my life.
It's kind of like the ultimate American story. I mean, it's like this guy, he against all odds, it manages to beat the system. It's kind of like, if you will, Rocky 3, right? In Rocky 1 and 2, he climbs up kind of out of nowhere, manages to defeat Apollo Creed, and then gets knocked down because, the system strikes back against him, right? Mr. T comes and knocks him on his butt, and then he gets up and he ends up taking him on and winning. It's phenomenal. Anthony, did you see the election results from my state, from Texas?
No.
It went
huge. Everything went like
it went. But this is the crazy thing. So this year we purged over, I think it was 1.1 or 1.2 million votes from the voter rolls here. We did massive investigation, a lot of dead people, a lot of illegals, etc. Got them out of the system. We went from barely winning Texas in 2020 by 5.5 to now 15 points.
Yeah.
Just imagine if that could happen across the entire United States, if we can clean up the...
Nick, if they clean the voter rolls and they actually... let the same thing happen with Florida. DeSantis went in and he cleaned up the voter rolls and he made like voting actually legit. And look at how red Florida is now. That
every state she won
had no
voter ID.
Yeah. And every state that does have voter ID, she lost.
Yeah.
Every one that has voter ID laws, she lost.
She only won by 2, I think. I think it was like Massachusetts and one other one that she won that had voter ID. It was so few. It was crazy. Nick talks about Trump the same way Gen X Catholics talk about St. John Paul the Great. so true. Except there's one difference, which is that I'm not the evangelical who says, "Trump, come save me. Trump, come save me." I don't do that. So true though.
I'm not saying no. She didn't win every one that doesn't have voter ID. I said she only won in places that have no voter ID, and she lost every one that has voter ID.
She won
has voter ID.
Yeah, she won 2 of them. It was, I think, Rhode Island and Massachusetts, I think. But they're both deep blue states. That's the point. Like, they're both extremely deep blue. You have your point though. Yeah. Like,
I just think if they actually did clean up all the voter rolls and there was voter ID laws, like, you'd never see another Democrat election win again, which I don't know if you want competition of ideas. You don't want to have Republicans just automatically get in, because that's how you kind of get this complacency. Like, we have Trump in right now because he had a lot of original ideas that he came out with. I really do think Robert F. Kennedy enlivened that party a little with the conversation he had on the health stuff. I think Elon enlivened the party with just new ideas coming in for a political campaign. And I think if we can actually root out
and been with him during all
every day, every single day at Mar-a-Lago, right? So if we can actually root out some of these insane deep state operatives that put the Russia hoax on them, that did what they did in the 2020 election, like, if they can actually root some of that stuff out and get some of these other big things that we're talking about done, like, it's an opportunity for a presidency like we've never witnessed in our lifetime. Like, we've only lived through neocons and
neolibs
like this. Like, we've never witnessed anything with potential like this. I'm really hoping we don't end up disappointed. But just the excitement of the potential is there right now, and I'm really hopeful about the things that could happen.
Exactly. I'm very, very hopeful. To kick us back on the Fuentes fan, so our favorite bottle of syrup is pontificating from the kitchen. I'm a huge Fuentes fan. I think he's the great leader of he's a leader of a great movement. My question would be, what movement at this point? Seriously, I know so many ex-Groypers who have left the movement, and they've talked about. I was like, why did he leave?
No. I just have to.
I know so many who have left the movement, so many who have talked about how the real issue with Fuentes' movement is, particularly because he's trying to be a Catholic, is that there's too much sarcasm, too much irony, not a whole lot of like actual emphasis on virtue, etc. From an institutional sense, which I get.
I don't see Nick as a Catholic commentator. I see Nick. I don't
either. But I don't either see him as a Catholic commentator. But the issue is that if he claims the name of Christ and then he's behaving in kind of just this very loose, ironic, hyper sarcastic fashion, and never promoting virtue, I don't think it's actually really getting anywhere. And that's why I think that, as I've seen particularly over the last week. Fuentes was very much so against Trump. And then Trump won the election, and whether it's irony or not, that's
it was irony. That's what. Look, everybody that got mad at that when he posted, we did it.
I can't take anything he says seriously. That's the problem. Is who knows whether, like, if we're wanting to have real discussions and move the ball forward and actually try to get policy done, right? We can't just doing the ironic thing 24/7. It comes off as absolutely ridiculous.
He is the very definition of irony poisoning, right?
Yeah, I can't take him seriously.
I still think I've never watched a full show that he's done. People post clips of things that he said, and some of the things he says I find hilarious, but I don't. No. They don't.
No, I
think they actually do.
I do because there was a lot. I do believe that because that's
you have too much faith in them, man.
His movement is grasping for breath at this moment. The amount of ex-Groypers that I know who have come to me and said that the movement essentially is nothing more than a vagabond band of guys griping all day long and not actually doing anything is very true. The excessive irony is killing Gen Z. Thank you, Murray. Yes, it's true. It's not a problem for Gen X or millennials. It's killing Gen Z. When the America First is coupled with the Pope's Splaining movement, it commonly is. It is also a nightmare. Exactly.
That's a really good point, Murray. Like a really good point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Murray, you want to come on the stream? I can't invite people often, but if Anthony's okay with it, you should come on the stream.
Oh, I would love to have Murray on.
Murray and I are set eventually, now that the election's over, to do a stream on Gen Z and the whole Pope Francis's base thing from Gen Z perspective. So, Murray,
you want to come on? I'll send you the link.
If you want to come on, if you're doing something else, it's okay. But oh yeah, proclaims to be Catholic too. I don't see Fuentes as Catholic at all. I mean, that's the issue, is that, you know, it's fine to, you know, be ironic and sarcastic. I do the same thing myself. Oh, hey, let's come on. Yeah, come on, Murph. It'll be fun.
I'm DMing you the link on Twitter. Just give me a sec. I'm trying to.
But point is, it's just we can't do this all the time, and that I see his movement becoming smaller and smaller, and becoming more and more isolated and not actually doing any good overall. So,
there's a couple of other things I definitely wanted to get to tonight.
But you actually, Rob, real quick before if we want to move on to another one, the post I sent in the chat, it's of Fuentes' tweet actually that we're talking about right now, and I think it's like Luigi. Is Luigi the Orthodox like Gen Z apologist guy? Someone in the chat let me know.
Yeah, Luigi, yeah.
I'm kind of stepping away from internet theology for a while, but this I honestly thought was good. So it was just like Fuentes says, "I can't believe we did it again, Luigi. You didn't do blank. You're done. America First will move on forward without you." And then someone's, I guess, retweets it. Groyperism is dead. America First is forever. That is kind of the thing. It's at this point, you know, whether
I think he was. Listen, for the weeks leading up to the election, he told all the Groypers, "Don't vote for Donald Trump." Like, he was outright saying, "Don't vote for Donald Trump." And then when he wins, he takes credit for, "I can't believe we did it again."
And so whether he's serious,
serious
if he's ironic, I can't take him serious because of his behavior. And if he's actually claiming victory, then it's just ridiculous. That's the problem, is that I don't see him as any type of leader of a movement, as was the
I don't either. No, I just think he's a funny content.
I think he's just become like this weird internet joke more than anything else, which is sad because I think that he could have had legitimate potential.
He just created a cult of personality.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look, I think the Groypers are ruthless. Like, I think when they went after Luigi and posted pictures of his wife and the crap they was like that, I don't like that crap. And the Groypers are ruthless. Like, if they want to, like, they'll dox you, they'll go after you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like, that crap is toxic. But I do think
there's so many vices in that. It's insane.
Yeah, definitely. But I do think he has funny things to, like, he's funny at times. I'm not going to take that from the kid. Like, sometimes I watch a clip. Some of the stuff he says about race is hilarious. Like, I'm sorry. I just find them funny.
We've had Pine Zap on.
Yeah, we've had Pine Zap on.
Yeah, we've had Pine Zap on.
Yeah.
Is Marty coming?
Point is that they should be open to some good constructive criticism. Like, again, I think he could have been an actual potential leader in like a broader conservative movement in the United States, but I think he's just kind of now known as an internet joke more than anything.
Okay. So should we talk